Hello, I'm Chiranjib Sengupta and welcome to the Energy Connect studio at India Energy Week 2025. Balancing India's huge appetite for energy, along with ensuring sustainable energy growth, will be a key focus in the decade ahead. And to discuss more about that, I'm delighted to welcome Dr. Jennifer Holmgren, the CEO of LanzaTech. Thank you, Jennifer, for being with us in the studio today. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, CS. It's a real pleasure.
And LanzaTech has been doing a lot of pioneering work recently. And how are you enabling greater access to green energy as well as promoting a circular economy?
Everything we do is the circular economy. We take waste carbon in all of its forms, from refineries to steel mills to municipal waste, and we convert that to product. And the reason that is so important to me is, especially for a developing economy, getting more product out from the same input is really what changes the dynamics of a carbon economy.
I think that's an excellent point. And when you talk about getting more products out from the same carbon input, one of the ways that you do it is through a lot of collaborations and partnerships.
Absolutely. And in India, we're working with Indian Oil. We're working with Indian Oil on the first 3G plant in the world, and it's in the Panipat refinery. We're also doing a circular carbon with them, waste carbon all the way to sustainable aviation fuel using the LanzaJet technology. We work with NTPC. As you know, India has a massive push in green hydrogen. We're using their CO2 and their green hydrogen also. And we have a project with SED. SED is going to be an agriculture residue to ethanol project. So this helps the rural economy. So we've got a portfolio of projects here in India that will allow us to showcase how a country can use its own resources to make everything it needs. The old Make in India strategy.
That's a great point, because with that Make in India and all the energy ecosystem developing in India, what are your thoughts on the pathway to a low carbon future for the country?
For India, to me, it's leadership all the way from the Prime Minister to the Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas. It is really impressive to listen to them talk about a pragmatic approach to energy. That means all solutions are on the table. And India is installing more hydrogen, more solar than anywhere else in the world. And they're very focused on the Make in India strategy, in making sure that all resources are utilized. And for me, it's really exciting to be part of the story and to work with so many companies here in India, because I feel that we're creating a new dimension, a new approach to energy security, to new green jobs. It's a great time to be in India.
And one of the things that you do wonderfully at LanzaTech is to provide access to clean energy and at the same time help in the reduction of emissions. How are you balancing that?
Well, actually, that's all we do is we reduce emissions and take those emissions and turn them into products. And I'll show you, this is an example of an on hat. And it's part of their Clean Cloud collection. And the polyester was made using recycled steel mill emissions. And actually, the monomer was made here in India by Indian Glycol. And so we're taking emissions and turn them into something useful. And to me, this whole strategy of pollution to products, this whole circular economy, is what's going to differentiate a carbon reduction strategy from a carbon reduction to product strategy. If all you do is reduce carbon emissions, you're wasting carbon. You should really use that carbon over and over and over again.
No, part of the whole carbon capture narrative is not just the development of the technology, but also overcoming the challenges that you can foresee. And what would be some of those challenges?
Well, there's a lot of challenges. And in fact, once again, I'll quote Minister Singh from this morning. He made a very important comment. He said, governments have to step in. The reality is that making polyester from recycled carbon emissions is going to be more expensive, more difficult than doing it from petroleum, which is we've been doing it for 100 years. And so I think governments leaning into how do we help, how do we incentivize, how we partake in creating the new carbon economy is really important. So to me, the biggest challenge is affordability and balancing energy security, energy availability, energy affordability, these things together. People call them the trilemma. It's just common sense. You need to make sure everybody has access. So it needs to be affordable.
That's a wonderful way of approaching the energy trilemma.
I think so. We've got to do it. We've got to do this.
And finally, Jennifer, we are here at India Energy Week. This is in its third year. You've been attending from the very beginning. What are your thoughts and how do you see this journey evolving?
Well, first of all, congratulations because it has become a massive event and it's great to see so many people here from government, from industry, from across the world. And I think everybody has a common theme. I'm really excited to see the pavilions. My team is out there, so new technologies, new approaches being showcased. But what I think is most energizing here is to see the commitment at every level. Every chairman from every oil company is sitting here. And I think it speaks loudly that they're not just talking, they're taking important steps to create a transition. I think that is different than anywhere else in the world.
Dr. Jennifer, it's been such a pleasure having you in our studio, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for watching, and you can always get more comprehensive coverage of the energy industry at energyconnects.com. I'll be back with more studio interviews from India Energy Week. Until then, goodbye.